Listen, girl. Drop your clothes on the floor and close the door. You know the score. Don't be shy.
You hear that shit?
And just enjoy
Sexy shit. You feel that shit? You hear what he's saying? God damn it! Get horny in this motherfucker. It's beneficial. Horniness has benefits, man. You can do a whole lot with the horny vibes. Horniness horniness can do a thing or two, and let me tell you why. I got a theory on this. We're gonna discuss. We're gonna talk about it because I believe in myself, and I believe that I figured out a thing or two. That we figured out a thing or two here, and I think it's worth discussing. And I think don't make me laugh. Don't make me laugh. It's important. That's all I'm saying. I'm saying it's important to the goings on in the world, and it's helpful. This is not a joke. This is not a laughing matter. It's an important piece of history. That's what it's an important piece of history, and that's where we're at. So before we get into it, we're gonna set the vibes. How are you guys doing out there? Whatever time you hear this, or it's afternoon at this current recording. But whenever you hear, we thank you for coming. Thank you for being here. Right now, it's currently me, TJ, one half of Just a Dope Ass Podcast in here. DC's on the way, because people are outside. Traffic is we've been complaining about this for like weeks. Traffic is jumping up. People are outside. People are living. People are deciding that pandemic is over. Not exactly like Texas said. Texas just said, you fucking you fucking pussies. Like, we're open, bitch. Like, fuck you guys. So we're not like that yet. But I don't know. Cause shit's open. Motherfuckers are just like, wherever the fuck they decide to be at. So maybe we might be kind of open. Actually, I don't know what the fuck's going on. Cause I don't be outside. I'm still one of the dummies who's adhering to trying to not die or whatever. But anywho, that's that on that. Living, who's it? Oh, never mind. It's the motherfucker next door. Oh no, it's not. Oh shit, black man. I was full of shit. Never mind. Completely could have got robbed because I was like, oh, it's the dude next door. Don't worry about it. Bam, motherfucker, we in the door. Nah, motherfucker would have just got a fistful of something. Like, it's a lot of shit to just pick up. Like, if I wanted, just can't. It is. Y'all be getting sexy in here when we not here. Like, when whoever, like, who was just? Oh, this was Jackie and them in here. They be in here getting nasty.
I mean, yes, yeah, they be in here. They be in here with the shenanigans.
They be in here with the stuff. DC's here, everybody. The visuals will come.
Y'all will see me in a second. But what I can say, because I just want you to listen. I want you to hear me, and I want you to hear me good now. God damn it! Before you even see my face on screen, because it might even save you. I mean, you may miss the comedic effect because you don't get to see my face. But just listen to me. Those of you here on the West Coast in LA, because that's where a lot of our listeners are going to be from.
Yeah.
Let me sit here and let me vibe with you real quick. Let me have a one-on-one with you. Just put your ears closer to the speaker. Just get closer to the speaker. I'm gonna give you a second. Just go smooth, scoot closer. You hear? You listening? I promise y'all can stay y'all ass at home. I promise you can stay at home. I promise y'all can stay y'all ass at home. You ain't missing nothing. I guarantee it. You ain't missing a lick or nothing. It's okay to stay your ass at home. I swear. Just I just want to share that with you from the depths of my soul. I swear, y'all can just stay there. Just stay where you at. And if you ain't at home, get your ass down and don't leave.
Just go inside. It's like you motherfucker. I sincerely miss the days of like just like flying here in 20 minutes. Like,
Right, and
nothing.
that's coming from where you come. So imagine, for me, it wasn't taking 20 minutes at all. I was hearing like
naked.
12.
It was naked outside. Like, it was just, wow, look at this. And now you motherfuckers just, it's traffic at like stupid spots. Like, y'all not even going nowhere from, where are you going at this particular, this exit goes nowhere.
Not even that. It's still the same amount of shit to do. Like, what are you leaving the house for? Because we can go sit outside at a restaurant. Yay.
I just,
Like, we don't get to really go out and start doing shit like movie theaters and whatnot till what, Monday? I believe it's Monday. So. But even then, we're opening things back up because we have said coronavirus vaccine. But ain't nobody getting the vaccine yet.
listen.
So we're opening back up because we have something that nobody's utilizing.
I don't think it's the vaccine. My theory is horny is what beat the pandemic. Horniness beat the pandemic. Joe realized that if we keep everybody inside, I cannot get out here and touch nobody's body. I cannot get out here and rub on nothing. I can't just grind up behind something in the middle of a fucking press conference that's been just shown. So I need to get the shit's wrap it up. Fill these motherfuckers full of that goddamn Johnson & Johnson baby soap. Plug them motherfuckers up and get them out here because we need to open up outside because I ain't touched nobody's left titty in months, dog. I ain't touched a titty in months. And Joe said, bro, I'm filled up. These motherfuckers, I'm old now. It takes them a little minute, but they're full. And I need to dry hump on something. That's my theory, y'all. Horniness. There's, sundress season coming up. And niggas is like, yo, man, like, I got to fuck something. Something got to get fucked on. And that's what's single-handedly moving forward the progression of saving the world is libido. That's my theory.
Has went on a theory and said that a goddamn Fashion Nova conspiracy is getting us outside.
That's it. That's
so we can watch all these women wear their outfits in the summertime.
That's my now conspiracy Twitter. Take that. It's Fashion Nova and the sundresses and Joe Biden in cahoots because asses got to be seen and jiggled on. I done seen more memes, different memes with the same. It's different fonts and shit, and it's all of it's like it's pull up the sundress and fuck them in public season, and all of a sudden, here we are.
Not only that, but like when it comes to vaccines, Johnson & Johnson, they all right either way. Either you're going to buy this vaccine and you're going to get outside, or on the back end, we're going to get some money from you because then you have a baby because you didn't been outside, then what? You're going to need some Johnson & Johnson products to wash your kid and whatnot. So we getting money double time. Go on and go outside here. Take this vaccine. Go outside. Bring us a little bit of pocket change because, you stir crazy and you can't help but get out and do nothing. A whole lot of nothing.
That's the thing that gets me too is everybody who I see on the internet, right? Like all the homies, all the homegirls, all the friends, all the associates. When I see them outside, these niggas is out to eat. Like nobody is doing nobody. I've seen nobody yet do some shit where I'm like, oh fuck, you really should have gone outside. Like Willis been jumping out of planes the whole time. Willis was like, I need to go outside. I'd be like, you know what, man, that makes sense because you jump out of fucking planes.
Right.
You can't do that in your house. But y'all niggas be like, and they be at like. It be this little ducked off corner backyards. I'm like, y'all not even fuck. Y'all could have really done this shit at the house for less money. I'm just, maybe I'm just cheap, but I'm like, nigga, we could have got bottles and made drinks, and you could have, we could have really, and you could really get stupid turned because you ain't got to go home for real.
I won't even say it's a matter of being cheap. I would hope that I use this analogy a lot for a lot of things, but I think we've kind of used the pandemic like stocks, like the stock market. Like we had to sit down for a good amount of time. And we sat there and we start learning, you know what? We spend too much money on bullshit. I haven't been taking care of my body like I need to. I should start exercising more. I should take this time to meditate. I should find a nice, healthy work-life balance. I should learn how to create all these boundaries.
Fuck that shit.
And that was the first, months 2 through 7. After 7... somewhere around a little after November, on, baby. Like, give me a little sunlight. Like that lack of vitamin D started to affect people's brains, and they just start making all kinds of irrational decisions.
I have a question. So does that mean I need to start a new diet and all that other changes? This shit was really bullshit? Because, it only takes, 21 days to form a habit and so on and so forth.
Roughly,
90 days, whatever the fuck, do some other shit. So if you was really focused on it, would outside be that important to you where you was really needed to scratch? Because if you needed to scratch, that means you probably was bullshit to start with.
Right.
Like, I'm just doing this to, occupy my brain, but you wasn't really, buying into whatever the fuck it is you was doing.
I'll say from a personal standpoint, I've been in the house because even before I transitioned away from said former occupation, I was only going out to work for 3 days out of my 5, roughly. So I've transitioned to being in the house for the good part of over a year, probably. I done bought weights to keep myself together. Now, granted, I'm not killing myself as much as I was when I was at the gym, but that's also for a reason because, personal medical issues I learned about. And it's like, oh, let me shift my focus to rehabilitating myself as opposed to just being a madman focusing on getting my muscles good and my abs chiseled. But the taking the time to refocus on things that are important, getting into stock trading and things of that nature and investing, looking at myself and my flexibility and meditation because I was neglecting those things for a while, and those are something that have helped me focusing more on getting my I can keep busy in the house because I'm focusing on self-betterment this entire time. The only reason I have to leave the house is to come here and entertain y'all.
Yeah.
Aside from groceries, and I picked a great neighborhood to live in. Granted, lots of minorities, low middle class, upper low class communities. I'm right there with you, but I got all the grocery stores within bike riding distance, so I can use that for exercise, or I can take me a nice walk and listen to an audiobook for an hour, get some errands done, get me some sun, get me some vitamin D, get a little exercise. Like I don't pay attention to TV until 9 o'clock at night because I'm finding something to do, building my own platform, getting my clientele up, building all these pages and websites so you guys can get in contact with me for consultations for therapy and mental health if you want to address yours. This shameless plug. You can see the link in my personal bio. It's up there. Awesome. But I'm always finding some way to progress, not just myself, but also find ways to help progress other people. I don't have to be outside. So what the hell? What's y'all excuse? Why is traffic so bad when really ain't nothing changed? Did people go back to neglecting themselves because I'm stir crazy and I have to go sit and eat outside at this restaurant? As if you didn't realize you was saving more money staying in the house cooking the first 6 months of quarantine.
Yeah, I don't, my thing is not even about stay in the house. It's just, I guess, the incessant need to go to this random spots, because I've personally engaged in we gonna go to such and such house for dinner, and then dinner turns to drinks, and then I'm like, okay, so why is this not just becoming a normal thing?
Right.
Because I even kind of correlate that back. Excuse me for burping you guys' ear, because I'm a gentleman. But I even correlate that to it kind of reminds me of being younger when niggas couldn't just go outside. You had to go to the homie's house, and I was like, what, this shit was fun. This was some of the funnest times of my life. And even back in college, niggas didn't have money, so we was going to dorms or such and such house. And I was like, these were the funnest times, and actually kind of interacting with this shit the way it is now. I'm like, this is better than just, because half the time I remember niggas would go out, niggas would go to the club, or niggas would go out to said whatever environment. And then 30 minutes in, we complaining about all the motherfuckers there. So
right.
I'm not even trying to be Buzz Clinton. I sat down logically one day and thought about it. I was like, what exactly do I really miss about outside that I can't really facilitate now?
Look here. I ain't nice like boss. Stay your ass in the house. Now, I'll preface that to be more of a intellectual professional and give you some context.
Fuck it.
I'll say stay in the house because you haven't identified a real reason to leave it. Stay in the house until you figure it out. Like you're saying, in college we had great times with less resources and opportunities. That's one of the reasons. Like that helped me, even still to this day, because I went to school in Ohio. Part of the year wasn't nobody trying to leave a house for real anyway, because weather ain't necessarily pleasant. But that's also how, for all of you saying today, like, it's not a real date if you can, like, don't invite me over to that house, because we've had wonderful times in college where people we know that it's going to be snowing the next couple days. I'm going to come over to the house and chill, and all we going to do is stay in the house and play card games, watch movies, we going to cook, we going to talk, we ain't going nowhere, we ain't spending no money, you going to get some cheek slapping here and there, a little something. Your whole intent to have a great time is to come over to the crib, but now, y'all want to go to Cancun and shit, because that's a real measurement of getting to know somebody and their investment in you. Like, no, I learned in college, minimal. I don't have to do a lot of shit outside of the house to really understand how to invest in proper, healthy relationships. We're not leaving the house. Like, if you leave the house to go hike, I leave you alone. If you leave in the house to go to the beach and get some grounding in, or just get some sun and some fun in.
Grounding. Sorry.
Do your thing.
Really like that shit.
It is. It's wonderful. Try it sometimes. We are the earthly, godly people. Get connected with this thing that we live on, not just like connected to it as far as like, oh, I went and sat by the pool. Like, no. Like,
nah, man, you got to get out there and go full Toph Bayfong.
Yeah, just take your shoes off. Get barefoot hippie status sometimes. It's all right. Do that. And the sand is a good exfoliant for your feet if you want to get that thing nice and smooth. Let nature do the work for you. But if you're doing those types of things, or we're getting together because, you know what? We've been stuck in the house. Let's set aside a day where me and my friends and family members can get together in person in the house and enjoy each other's company and catch up and do all that stuff. That's completely fine. That's wonderful. But I know you motherfuckers ain't out there doing that. You know how I know? Because a lot of y'all trying to get out the house because some of y'all stay with your parents. Not that that's a bad thing. We actually should condone that, like having an ability to keep your kids at home long enough for them to save and invest in something to propel themselves forward, because that's what every other race and culture of people does except for us. So I'm not demonizing you for that. But my parents is getting on my nerves. Generational differences. They extra COVID-y and you're not extra COVID-y. So now they're like, you leaving the house, you going to get something from the store? You going to get the vaccine? Because if you're going to go out there, you're going to scrub everything. Like, they're stressing you out because they're paranoid, which makes you not want to be in the house. So you're only leaving the house to get rid of an uncomfortable boundary at the house. Or some of your friends are the same way. So we not getting together, kicking it as friends because so-and-so don't want a bunch of us over there because they don't know if we getting vaccinated or not or whatever. Everybody's paranoias are making each other do something stupid. So you creating traffic for no goddamn reason. You leaving the house to escape the same shit you was trying to escape before COVID hit. You're reacting as opposed to finding something beneficial to leave the house for. So that's why I say stay your ass in the goddamn house until you figure out a reason to leave the house for a functional purpose.
Parada said, and am I pronouncing that right? Parada, bro? You're loyal as fuck. You're dope.
I appreciate you.
Titties is the only reason, bro. I don't even know what that was in reference to, but I stand by it, nigga. Like, titties are a good thing. Titties are just fun.
Look, titties are natural. That's grounding, too. You can get butt naked and just lay on some breasts and just connect with the natural energies of the earth. Titties are a natural energy of the earth.
You know, two things you just said. One is in reference to, when you said, like, stay in, get some cheek slapped, just because sex and horniness stopped the pandemic. I even think about that as far as, like, not that I don't enjoy the go out, get drunk, come home and take your clothes off shit, but not a lot of times now, shit, nigga, we going to bed, I'll fuck you in the morning. Would still translate to when you slapping cheeks, you just at the house and you just chilling, and it's like, damn, this big motherfucker just sitting here this motherfucker just heavy today. Let me go ahead and pick that. Like, that'd be good fucking. Like, that just in the house, like, it's fucking 1:25 p.m. Like, that's, man.
The fact that you don't have nowhere to go makes it, we gonna sit in the house, we gonna chill. y'all just, you know what? We was cooking together, and she comfortable. You know, she didn't put her little house moo on or her long T-shirt or whatever it is, but things is just swinging around. Or she, you know, some of them like walking around in they boy shorts, you know, they little unders, and the booty's just out real nice, and you like, you know what?
There's some science to that. Pheromones probably kicking off and
You
shit.
just everything is just real nice, and you're comfortable because you know I have no pressures to go anywhere, but here. I'm where I need to be right now. Let me enjoy this moment. Being present in the moment and enjoying it. And me doing so while she tasting the food because she cooking it, I'm going to taste that ass because it look real nice in this kitchen. And I appreciate you cooking for the both of us if she's doing the cooking. Hell, I could be doing the cooking in my circumstances. That's normally the case. But whatever it is, like, you know, sauce tastes good. Sauce tastes good. Like
and that's how you get, like, I know y'all see a lot of that, but that's how you. That's where you get that. Cause like fresh out the club, I don't even want you on me like that. Cause we stink now, nigga. We don't smell like our. We stink, and that's now we gotta, you know. And it's all even before COVID, nigga. It's all the club on us and shit. We been bumping and sliding across motherfuckers. Like I don't know, man. Y'all are just not. You know, it's all about perspective. That's one of the favorite words around here. We just not looking at this the right way.
I think it kind of depends on where you was at. If you was at some like stereotypical not low key, but small time like nigga club, then yeah, maybe not. If you were at the high end scene clubs, everybody's standing around, so it ain't like you really.
Okay, maybe
I'm
telling on myself because I don't give a fuck if we gonna go in here and stand, then we could have just. I mean, you could go to a bar and not, but if we going out here, you gonna throw this ass. I don't give a fuck if I've been hitting this ass for 3 years straight. You gonna throw this shit like you just met me and we two drunk freshmen.
Well, you sound like you speaking from the aspect of somebody that is going with said individual that you are in a connection with. For somebody that is single going out, that may be a different circumstance.
See, I don't know. Now I'm still from that. I remember you used to go and the goal was to at least when it was high school and nobody was even getting ass like that, except for you fucking superstars. The goal was at least you go in here and we gonna dance.
I'm gonna grind on something.
Yeah, and I remember saying that. Like I remember saying that as an end. Like it wasn't even like I wasn't even captain like talk to the bitches like that. You gonna come in here and stand? You've been standing here next to me. Why we don't? I don't have to take you home. We don't got. But you came out here. You got dressed. I got dressed. If we don't get out here and do some shit, and that would have been the entire. Thanks. High fucking five. This thing is up. I imagine that thing is moist. We don't really know what the fuck to do with these things right now, but we did a thing. You motherfuckers just be sitting here and don't even look cool. You niggas just in here looking dumb.
Right. You got super done up just to come stand around and do fucking this for 3 hours. You don't knock that shit off. Like you took all your pictures before you got to the club, and now you in here taking more pictures in the club just to show people where you are and what you're doing. You're showing people that you're doing absolutely nothing. Now the flip side to that for me as an adult, if I'm at one of these, like say, no, I'm not connected to them, but say an Afro City party or something that is geared towards Afro beats, African culture.
Walking in with workout clothes.
Them things.
I'm not even coming in looking good. I want some shoes with some good support.
I need some good soles that got some grip on them, and a nice outfit that's thin enough for me to sweat it out, and I ain't gonna be, dying.
I'm coming in that bitch with compression pants on.
Because everybody in there, everybody at an African party, they get dressed up, but they gonna throw that thing. Ain't gonna be too much standing around unless they standing around like they. I'm hunting. Let me see what I'm gonna jump up on. But they really gonna get in there.
I learned that in college. Them niggas said we do not invite y'all because you motherfuckers be getting. We came here for a purpose. Now I got 17 AP classes in this bitch. So when I'm partying, nigga, we came to fuck it up. You niggas be coming in here walking around me. Get out. Get the fuck out.
Nah, college definitely. College when we went out. Granted it may be a little different because. Part of a football team, and later on, football team and fraternity life. Like I'm just double. There is no standing around. Like I'm in somewhere with my shirt off. Even if we just like swag surfing together, I wouldn't even care about ass. I'm just here from the camaraderie of my boys.
Yeah,
but we're
college
still
wrestling.
acting a fool.
College wrestling, niggas. Push come to shove, nigga. We getting half naked. Like,
Right.
get this
Shirt
bitch-
off on somebody's stage or couch or speaker or something. And it's not even to be wild. It's just like we all trying to fit in this one space and we deep. So I'm going to stand here so that everybody else can fit. And we just going to enjoy the fact that we together and we can and the club, some of them clubs was no bigger than about 4 of these rooms.
Word to Plush, man. Y'all niggas wasn't outside at Grambling, but Plush was the thing. I remember Plush. Long live Plush.
We had one of our bars was called the Robin Hood.
It's the Plush nigga. We have the blue niggas don't remember the Blues Lounge. It was just a lot.
In this small town, Ohio, so pickings was slim, nigga.
I mean, yeah.
It's a lot better now, I'm sure. but
I have a theory. I don't know. It's probably not even a theory. I'm like, I didn't make this fucking shit up. Everybody, I feel like there is a benefit to going because you said Ohio. Grambling is, it's Grambling, but it is in a small part of northern Louisiana.
Rural
But
area.
man, I don't know. Like, it probably would have been cool to go to fucking, I don't know, Texas or Oregon or fucking USC. But it's like, man, I don't know, man. Like, because it was like niggas, it seemed like just on a unified front, everybody was like, it was even us and like up the street was like Louisiana Tech. And it just seemed like, and Tech used to bring their ass down to us. It was just like everybody in unified front was like, we all we got. So we are going to quantity over we don't have a lot of shit, but
Right.
motherfucker, this shit we got, we're going to blow the top off this bitch every fucking time. So, I don't know. I look
really at it
my school.
like major universities, the big major universities, they have a lot of pride in school, pride in the institution. But say a lot of smaller schools have more pride in the people and the experience.
That's a bar.
Like O State, of course, is the biggest school in the state, probably in the area, depending on what you're looking at. But people from O State and all over Ohio, when it came down to Halloween, they were coming. Like Kent, small town Kent, Ohio, would be packed for Halloween because that was like, oh, you go to Kent for Halloween. Like everybody's there with their college. Like people are coming all over for different schools, either our school or going to Ohio University. Wasn't nobody going to fucking O State like that. Like you would go just because you close to the area or it's a big school, so you'd have some nice things going on. But people was coming to our campus for that. When it comes to the big campus, like you can go there if you want to be a part of the sports teams and you can enjoy the tailgating and all the alumni that are come back and visit and the bigger sports teams and bigger sports games and rivalries. Yeah, you get all that. But for an individual experience, or for an experience with the people in general where you get to connect on a more personal level, I think smaller schools are better for that.
I'm with that because I remember like I don't know nobody else experience. If you was at ULM or Tech or whatever fucking like bigger schools or big name schools in general. Like I don't know if y'all was like niggas was coming and like, hey motherfucker, wake up, nigga. It's fucking 2:30 on the yard is up. Why? Who the fuck cares? It's up, nigga. Go. All right, cool. Like y'all niggas don't know that shit is amazing. HBCUs are dope.
I'm about to say you got the benefit of an HBCU too, which is a whole different environment and vibe
nigga,
within itself.
for
Than
for no reason.
right.
What are we doing?
In certain situations, I think an HBCU vibe wise will be way better than a large, predominantly white institution.
I will take you niggas to the bank with that. Who wants to fight about it? Like I'm not. It's the fact. That's it.
You could take fucking say Battle of the Bands during the Classic Week versus Ohio State versus Michigan rivalry week. The crowd of people at the Classic.
Oh, yeah, fuck yeah. Yeah, look, hey, I'll go like Southern Grambling experience beats fucking Ohio and Michigan, and y'all can kiss my black ass. All right, fuck you.
I stand by that 100%. Not just because my family founded Southern, but it's cool.
Yeah, that shit is awesome.
It is. So shout out to Southern. If I decide I want to get my PhD, I got family names on the building, so
PhD.
y'all can let me slide in for a little piece of change, help me out. I'll take that,
PhD, man, I think about that like that or like PsyD. I haven't really decided if I'm going to pursue it in general and if which one, but
I don't mind pursuing it. See, just conversations about progressing as individuals, and we're two black men talking about not just higher education, because we've done that, but even higher than that education. You guys miss so much beautiful shit that we have. But I think I might end up going the PhD route, but I'm not in a rush to do it now. I think after I'm done getting my license this year, I'll probably focus, on the PhD thing in another 4 or some years after I've kind of built up my clientele and business and had that going on stably.
Mm-hmm.
Getting licensed in other states, because there's probably 4 or 5 other states that I'm probably get licensed in just for shits and giggles.
I didn't even think about that. I got like another one, but I don't know about like 4 or 5 is a good thought. I don't know where else I'd want to really go though.
Texas for sure.
Yeah.
Georgia for sure. Mom's is moving to North Carolina, so North Carolina for sure. Because even if I'm doing it virtually, I have to be licensed in that state. That way, if I travel in person, just sidebar, you guys will probably forget this or not even know it by the time I actually do it. But if I'm doing virtual consultations and sessions with somebody in another state for a certain price, I can charge more to do, hey, I'll be in this area for this amount of time if you want to do an in-person program for a week.
That's smart. Damn, I didn't even think about that shit.
Come on now, get on the bus,
That's
goddammit.
fire.
So
Damn,
wherever I plan to travel to and enjoy my personal time, that's where I would want to get licensed. Florida as well. Say if I want to, for spring break, if I want to go, granted I'll be too old to really be participating in spring break, but if I want to go for the proverbial spring break and I go to Miami, I can enjoy time in Miami for 2 or 3 weeks while also still making money because I'm licensed in this area. Or if I say, what goddamn, the All-Star Weekend. All-Star Weekend was in Atlanta, right? Say if I'm registered as a therapist in Georgia, not only am I there networking, enjoying myself with all these so-called celebrities and whatnot, but I'm also leveraging my ability to be a therapist. How did I get in a room with these people? Oh, I'm a therapist. I'm a therapist to athletes. I'm a therapist to celebrities, so on and so forth. Oh, I'm licensed in this state. If you want, I'm from California, but I'm licensed to work in this state. So if you ever need somebody to do some consultations or you have some referrals, feel free. Here, take my information. I'm networking, having fun, enjoying myself, but I'm also leveraging my ability to have a clientele in that area.
That's big shit. All right. I now have 3 on my list just in that conversation.
Put them seeds in your pot, brother. Granted, I've been plotting these maneuvers for years. It's just other shit keep getting in my way. But that's part of the plan from the beginning. Like, you have to leverage yourself as a business, especially now. COVID is perfect. I know y'all be like, when I say COVID is a good thing, y'all be mad. I'm happy about COVID to a degree because it gives people the opportunity, as far as therapy is concerned, to transition to telehealth, which was kind of like a rare niche thing a year and a half ago. It was like, maybe not. Whereas now it's the norm. Yeah. Telehealth is going to be something that's going to be more permanent. Kaiser has transitioned to doing, video conferences and all that for your, unless we have to come in, we can go through your charts and everything via the phone. So telehealth is going to be the things. Leverage yourself beforehand.
I think that's good for even definitely for
I appreciate it.
I guess lower income communities, because everybody doesn't have transportation, but
right.
It seems like most people have at least a phone or something like that. If you can find like a spot, we can get this session the fuck off and I can get you through some shit.
Working with the homeless population, they got phones and hotspots.
There you go.
I don't know. I can't speak for every other state. Granted, we're California. We're a major state. So, of course, even our homeless are going to have more resources than some in other areas. But because of all the Obama phone situations and whatnot, all they need is their government assistance information, and they can get a phone and a hotspot.
Obama phone.
So if they say if I wanted to do telehealth sessions with somebody from lower economic situation, as long as they have the ability, say if I get set up with insurance or if they're going to pay for a little bit and I just have it at an income driven price, they pay for it, they get reimbursed by their insurance, I'm still getting paid, but also you have the access to get my services.
That shit's dope.
So
Yeah, my wheels are turning. I like this.
yeah, that's what I like. Now normally I keep for y'all be liking, the ass and titty talk, so I talk about this stuff off air, but this is stuff y'all gotta hear as well, because y'all think that that's all we talk about, which is not the case.
You. No, you don't. You sons of bitches just be hearing because there's a lot of shit to be. I've gotten that conversation, and you know what? Fuck y'all. It's both, nigga. Like you get the ass and the titties, and then it'd be like I remember it because it was like 3 or 4 episodes ago. That was a part of the conversation of how people misconstrue. Y'all niggas want to. I ain't fuck you.
Y'all got selective hearing, because we definitely either that or I won't say everybody. A lot of people tend to think surface level. So I was having a conversation with one of the Reds. Shout out to the Reds, protect the Reds all day long. But she was telling me about some of her situations, and then I referenced The Waterboy.
Mm-hmm.
And at first she's like, "Oh yeah, I remember that movie. That was funny." And I was like, "No. Think about this specific scene," because I sent her a clip of the scene from YouTube. I was like, think about this specific scene.
Mm-hmm.
It speaks a lot to what you're telling me and what you're going through. And we end up approaching something as simple as The Waterboy. An undertone in The Waterboy is an unhealthy enmeshed relationship between a child and a parent.
Mm-hmm.
That child realizing that I have to do what I have to do for me, drawing a harsh boundary with that parent, and then finding themselves and drawing a new relationship together going forward.
Yeah.
That's a lot of mental health. Abandonment because my father left, and left in a shitty way. My mom is like damn borderline Munchausen syndrome because she's keeping me bottled up to protect, not me, but protect herself. It's a lot of undertones that really go to a deeper level if you're willing to pay attention to it and not just look at it. If he hit him hard, that's funny. Like a lot of us, we're not paying attention to the depths. We just want the surface because the surface is comfortable. But that also got me to thinking about that's the stupid, shitty part of cancel culture, because you're canceling so many things that you're only looking at from a surface level. Say when it comes to Looney Tunes, we're canceling a lot of Looney Tunes or changing their figures or whatever the fuck we're doing that we talked about last week. But you're also missing the fact that a lot of them were created to make fun of certain personalities.
Well, shit like that is why I definitely feel like I harp a lot about comedy, because one, I like to laugh, but comedians I always feel like are really really deep thinkers. Like they're philosophers. Like I said that as a joke, but I'm arguably like if I could like time travel besides like going back to the 70s and putting Wi-Fi there and living there for the rest of my life, or the 80s.
Be the manliest of man with a blouse on.
Dead ass. I feel like philosophers might have been funny as fuck, because I just feel like now when you listen to people or see people who are like philosopher-ish or who are challenging thought, which is to me all a philosopher does, it's only comedians. Like they're the only motherfuckers who to me are like really, really like making it funny, but it's like, nah, nigga, like that came from like a real, well, like the, like the real comedians who are not scared of getting canceled. Like those motherfuckers are really like.
Not Kevin Hart.
Well, music. Oh wait, Parada said music is a much better way to make a woman or girl visualize the example. I don't know. I guess that depends on person to person. Like I like music for other things. Music sometimes I think helps me feel a thing.
Right.
But if I want to like make an example of something, I don't know. I think visually sometimes visual makes it sometimes easier, because if I have to like interpret a song for you, I might have to maneuver. I mean, you always have to maneuver through somebody else's interpretation, but it's like, no, nigga, that person did that. Like, you can watch Bobby Boucher's mom be like a.
It depends on the depth of how you want to have this conversation.
That's true,
because
too.
It depends on how you're taking in information, and I'll try not to get too nerdy about it. When it comes to a movie, there's a lot of different layers that you have to pay attention to decipher in order to understand what this TV show or this movie is giving you. Whereas music, it's only one thing, and I'm taking it in at a close proximity. Like if you go to a movie theater, if you're sitting in the back towards the top row, you're further away from everything. Yes, it's loud, it's surround sound, cool. But when you have headphones on, or you're in close proximity to a certain song, and you're paying attention to this one-dimensional voice, with one ability, you get to soak it in a lot better because you're less distracted. So music can grasp you a whole lot better and you can feel it more, as opposed to a movie where it's like, I got to look at how this person dressed and how they acting in relationship to this person over here, and the environment and what's going on and what the plot of the story is supposed to be and why they, like, it's a lot that somebody has to grasp and they may not want to. They may not want to utilize those depths. So for more surface people, yes, music can be a whole lot easier to ingest because it's given to me on a either surface or one level below it in situation, and I can digest those two easily.
Yeah, and I think music sometimes, at least for me, has a better. I think maybe like you said, because it's one dimensional and it can like cut through. Like, you know, sometimes music is better even when it doesn't have words. Like it'll get to, you know, the vibes, you know, like, but it can do that, I feel, because of, you know, you got frequencies and everything is sound, and now we're moving into like metaphysical stuff, folks.
Yes,
we cover so much ground here. You could do, like, music can do all that, but I think sometimes the benefit of film is where if I'm listening to a song, hence like, you know, say hip hop, you know, I want you to tell me something because nigga, you have to map it out for me. Where with music or with movies, it's like, well, shit. The way you guys bring in, you know, the background music set something up. The way this person said a thing. The way this person's facial features. So it is still to the extent of how deep you want to go with it, but
right. Because even if you think about a lot of the deeper artists or deeper songs or deeper types of music, say for us with R&B and hip hop, the deeper songs don't get the most play.
Fuck no.
The ones that are more surface level and can appease to you at that one dimension, those end up being the more popular songs. We talk about creating a vibe, but a vibe is multi-dimensional. We're not really looking for a vibe. We're looking for a surface level vibe. We're not going, like, if you think about, say even battle rap. Battle rap is a play on words, delivery, metaphors, similes, all these other things. I have to know about this person. I may have pre-written it, but I have to memorize it. It's more poetry. And a lot of people are not trying to hear battle raps. Like, you know, people that digest it and love it, like us, that enjoy the lyrics, we do. But on the grand scale of, on a grand scale of, say, Old Town Road versus this person versus this person. Like, Old Town Road is good because what is this, a nice little bop? Right. It's a bop. So it caught you on a surface level. But when you really have to be attentive, like even if you get a ticket to go watch battle rap in person, you're paying attention. I want to see, I have to catch every single bar. I have to pay attention to the layers. We don't really want to be embraced and touched on multiple layers. We just want the surface shit.
Yeah. And I guess going back to, I guess, you know, the term works, the vibes or whatever, but
right.
Because you know, there's some that I feel like just speaking to R&B, like there's artists who just seem to have that, like, you're trying your goddamnedest to be fucking like, oh, ethereal. It's the, you know, I'm making this song so that it can be like a purple Buddha image on YouTube. Like, I'm like, you forcing this vibe.
I drank a whole liter of psilocybin before I came
Yes, those motherfuckers. And then, like, on the flip side, I was talking to my sister like day before yesterday, and it was just like a playlist that was going, and not to literally shit on him because it seems like so many people shit on him or whatever, but he did it to himself. Jacquees has a new song. I didn't even know this was a new song out, but it was a new, and it was just, and it was, you know, it was fucking. And she was just like, I don't know. She was like, how many fucking times can you make the same song about how you finna fuck, gonna fuck, all night long fucking? And I was like, wow. And I was like, it's true, because it just, you know, I can't say that it sounds bad. It just wasn't doing it. And then if I want to listen to a song about fucking, Tank has made 1,000 songs about fucking, but I always be like, it just ain't the same shit. And I know some of that is personal preference to music, right, but I'm just like, I don't know, man. I feel like Tank really be singing about, like, you know, like, it's something that hits, like, oh, this is, you know, I don't want to be like, it's grown man fucking, but
no, I mean, he can make songs that speak to the different aspects of it. This song is a freaky, straight fucking song. This is a love making song. This is a building up, to a certain point song. Whereas a Jacquees is kind of like most of the music business in general. I found a lane that made me money, and I'm staying in the lane. It's not about me really being an artist.
E-lane.
Whatever it is. Whatever it is. I ain't gonna play. He's relatively talented, but it sounds funny and it gives him a bad rep because him, just like the Baby and all these other artists out here, I'm staying within this one lane because it makes me money, as opposed to somebody like Tank where I'm dipping out. So I'm just creating the shit that I like. I'm enjoying creating my craft. At the same time, I'm giving my audience, my fan base, what they want from me. I'm not reaching to try to get more money. So in essence, the intent of what you're creating your platform for is going to be able to demonstrate not just your ability, but it's going to help you demonstrate how many depths that you can really go to. Because if you, from a Bill Cosby standpoint, lecture y'all dog, if you just came here to get a little bit of money
about yourself
and you don't care about the artistry at all, then guess what? Your music's gonna suck. It is what it is. But depth. Enjoy the depth. Stop paying attention to the surface level bullshit. Like, there's tons of music, there's tons of different forms of artistry, there's different forms of everything that have depth to it, and embrace something that's completely different. Now, I know we're talking about music, but this applies to every single aspect of your life. Don't just pay attention to the surface level bullshit.
And I know this has been like a theme that's been beat in y'all heads before, I'm sure, on this here platform.
And we're going to continue doing it.
But yeah, it just seems like, and I understand, like, whether it be hard times, whether it be labels and pressures, and I understand those themes, but it just, the motherfuckers who are in, like, the upper echelons of things, or whether it's longevity, where it's loyal fan bases, whether it's just the motherfuckers who, whether you put them in like the super Hall of Fame class, even those super niggas will always talk about them, are the motherfuckers that just were like, I'm doing this because I feel good when I do it. I'm not going to not get, compensated for what I do, but that's not the goal of what I'm doing. Like, I'm actually enjoying making this music or making this movie or making, this content or making whatever. Like, I would say that even translates to, I know, people have whatever opinions about it, but like the wave of internet creators and shit, like the ones who really was like for instance, that motherfucker King Vader, like, or whatever, like that motherfucker makes like, it's, them shits are like movies, and I think they have like transitioned into making like little short films and still with anime themes, still with this, that, and the third, but the shits be good. They be having plots and purposes and shit. Right. Even the dude who makes fun of like the basketball niggas, like Supreme Dreams, like, I'm 36. Like, I just feel like, like there is something to like, do it. And obviously, yes, you want to, make a living off it, but you have to keep some of that air of, I fuck with this shit, bro. Like, even the best athletes, like, you be like, it'll be athletes who was like, man, he was good, but what happened to him? And then it'd be like, yo, I remember this motherfucker, because the motherfucker you remember is, that motherfucker was out there. Right. Like, he meant to do that. And it's like, bro, I would play this shit if they was paying me in like, rice.
I mean, you look at somebody like Ray Froston, fucking Skip to My Lou. Like, I was just enjoying the And One mixtape because I like to play street ball and really enjoyed this shit, and then I got a shot at the league. Mm-hmm. The league wasn't fucking with me before, but I continued to do this because I enjoyed it. I found a lane that allowed me to enjoy it the way I wanted to, and then I got a shot at the majors. But even going back to music, I'll say a lot of people, especially today, we kind of missed the parallel of a lot of the people that we grew up listening to. They have depth to them. So now music is a surface level thing. I'm going to get in, I'm going to get my money. I'm just trying to, I'm trying to show people what I got. I'm trying to make a song that's going to hit. I'm trying to get a bunch of streams. I'm putting on this persona like 6ix9ine. I'm doing this for the sake of getting material. As opposed to the people we grew up listening to, the E40s, the 2 Chainz, the Master P's, the Little Johns, the Lil Wayne even at one point in time. A lot of these guys, I was in the streets at one point in time. I also went to college. I also learned how to do my own thing and learned business. I traveled a bunch of different places networking. Like, it's not just, I didn't just jump into this because I was trying to make money. No, I did research. I went from all these different periods in my life, and I utilized all of them to help me understand how I can do this at its higher level, to the point to where I can still make money today at an age where I'm not supposed to be relevant within this field. But then you have all the paper chasers doing it at a surface level, and their career is like, it's dwindling. Why? Because you're not paying attention to the depth. You didn't really understand how doing all of these things contribute to me being a better individual in my craft.
Do you think that also goes to, like, I don't know, just thought about this. Like, it seems like there might be a lack of understanding in the concept that all of this is about change and transition. Like, Master P is a legend, but Master P, like, seems like, you know, he clearly allowed himself to transition from, I want to do all the things I want to do, and now I'm like an amazing businessman. But that Bert, like, he was probably always had the amazing businessman shit in him, but it had to transition from streets to music to the league to now it's like, I'm a real fire ass businessman. Like, all of these, you know, and they still are good. Like, you know, Hove even being like a super making, you know, multi-millions a deal,
Right.
but can still get in the booth and tap into all that other shit. It seems like, you know, you have to have, you know, give yourself to a thing and allow yourself to maneuver and flow through it and that shit kind of will come to you as opposed to you chasing it. Always, like, you know, that same little adage that, you know, the more you chase it, the more you hold on to it, the hard, you know, the faster it gets out of your hands, it gets away, or however the fuck that shit works.
Right.
But yeah, it just seems like all the greats you said still allow themselves to maneuver and go, okay, I'm not a super hot rapper. Now I'm a father and I'm going to take off time, or now I'm a this and now I'm going to allow myself, as opposed to trying to stay, I rap, I'm hot, I'm this. Even same thing with actors who like try to stay in, like, you know, whether they get typecast, whether they get this, just allow yourself to maneuver in whatever space you're doing, and it'll, you know.
I think it's the same motivation for all of them, because even if we say looking at P in his life had a lot of transitions, but his motivation was always the same. I want to learn how to become a self-made businessman. I took a lot of different avenues to get to that point, but my boundary has always been, or my foundation and motivation has always been, I want to be a self-made businessman to help myself and do the things I enjoy doing. I was in the NBA and other in basketball leagues because I love basketball from day one, no matter what. That's still something that I enjoy, and even train my kids to do that. And they're going to get scholarship. This is something that I love. It's always going to be there. Music, it's always going to be there. Business, it's always going to be there. Has been there. Whether I'm doing music or whether I'm doing, you know, snacks or noodles or whatever the fuck I'm doing, he's always been, I want to be a hustler. Same thing with 40. 40 got his name from drinking liquor. What is he doing now? I'm investing in liquor. And he's not one of those, like, I'm attaching my name to this because it could sell. Like, no. I'm in the dispensary. I'm in the winery. I'm looking, what grapes are y'all using? Where are we importing this from? What type of bottle? Like, I'm a businessman. I'm a hustler, but I'm also involved in this because this is something that I like, nigga. I drank.
So that definitely is just like a thing that I fully support. I remember, like, my dad used to say that shit about, like, stocks, you know, like, if it's something you're into, motherfucker, invest into it, because at least at that regard, you know, at least if on your end, it'll always pay dividends because, motherfucker, you're into it. So I'm always, like, excited to, like, see people finally fall in and find ways to maneuver, even if it's not profitable, whatever, at first, but you fall into things you enjoy. Like, whenever I see niggas, like, I'm not the super fashion nigga, but whenever I've seen niggas that were like super fashion niggas, like, why the fuck aren't you just trying to get in that industry? You like being a fresh ass nigga. Shout out to Breeze. Shout out to Blaze Sneakers on the way. Breeze is a nigga who is like the shoe nigga. Like, ever since I've met him, is like the shoe guy. And, like, has, you know, been watching him, like, progress in something finna drop. I don't know exactly what it is, but it's shoe related. Because I've been like that. Like, I've watched niggas, like, you know, on YouTube, and they be like, this is the new whatever. And I'm like, you niggas not as good as him. Like, you know, so I think that is something, too. Like, it might take time. I know there's probably somebody listening to this and be like, well, I like fucking, thumb wrestling. And it's like, okay, man, you might have to be the motherfucker to create a lane for that. But if you can find a way to make something that you already fuck with your purpose or your thing, that's the shit. Like, I like talking shit with my friends. I also like, clearly between the both of us, that's kind of thing that made this is why things do what they do. That's kind of therapy in my mind.
Right.
Like, you do these, and these. Clearly, these is a good word right now. You do all of this shit, and it doesn't work well for you. Don't like it, but you can't stop doing it. Well, let's get to the bottom of that shit, nigga. That's us doing therapy to figure out why you do that. And then that's another set of steps to undo whatever that is to get you on the path to better, mental health, better behaviors, better this, better that. So that kind of formulated my one track that I'm doing, professionally. And this, because I like talking shit with my friends. So that little gem to you niggas, there's something you like to do that you might not even think, you know what, I do like fucking doing handstands. Somewhere in probably some white country, because they be having weird like sports thing. There's a handstand competition, and you could probably make like $450,000 U.S. currency a year just being the best handstander if you thought about it. So I don't know, man. Y'all do some shit. There's a fucking tag thing that's out. Like,
yeah, they had the fucking parkour national championships, and people travel around the world jumping from building to building. Like, there's always a lane for you. But that kind of transitioned into my quote of the day. Quote of the day: make everything a labor of love as opposed to a labor of infatuation. Make everything a labor of love as opposed to a labor of infatuation. When you are infatuated with something, you just chase it because you want it. When you love something, you're willing to nurture it. You're willing to let it grow. You're willing to look at every single layer of it, every depth of it, every inch of it, every crevice of it. And you're going to figure out the good, the bad, the ugly, and embrace it all, even to the point to where if you have to let it go and see if it comes back. That's true love. When you're infatuated with something, you just want to hold on to it. When you love something, you allow it to fluctuate and grow. You allow yourself to pay attention to all the depths of this thing that you really care about. So make everything that you do a labor of love. Allow yourself to look at the multiple layers of it. Allow yourself to look at the multiple aspects of it. Allow yourself to enjoy the good, bad, and the ugly, because it's all going to be for your benefit in the first place, because you're rooted in an actual investment of this situation, regardless of how it turns out.
that was fire and fucking true. Thank you guys for listening. See you on Monday.
See y'all on Monday.
In the meantime, go. Chica been giving us fucking bars for years. She's got a project out, and that's it. That's the gem of the day for me. He gave you that. This is mine. Go. Do you hear this? Go now. Thank you, Chica. So,
This gives me big time like DC hot seat vibes.